friends, it's Nancy, and we are following along with the sewing themed junk journal, and I am working along with you if you're doing the craft along, if you're not, or if you're just watching it. So the journal I'm working on right now is a grungy, I say circa 1907 because there's a date on here of 1907, version of the journals. This one is going to have 6 signatures, and yesterday I did 2 pages. Same instructions, but totally different look. And I guess this, sort of gives you some more ideas for options that you might want to use to do your journal pages. So, we're going to try to get 3 pages done this morning. So I hope this is going to be long enough. This lace is actually cut from a handkerchief, I think, or maybe a napkin. Yeah, that's going to be fine. It's fine. I just stabbed myself. I'm just tacking this down with a little bit of glue, and I will be sewing that. And I had to dig deep. This is some eyelet that I had. Okay, so I'll set those aside to sew. Next one, we're doing a ruffle. Okay, let's see if it's going to tear. Sorry about that. So it stopped right there. Let's see if we can get it a little further. So just an update on my COVID kids. I was talking, well, I talk to them just about every day anyway, but Andrea seems to have bounced right back. And she was the one that was so sick she was in hospital. That sounds so old-fashioned, doesn't it? In hospital. Oh well, I'm old. I mean fashioned. Mark's pretty weak. Weak as a kitten. So Andrea will probably get him to the doctor. See what's up. All right, we need a glue stick. And I think I told you I had my vaccine last week. And I'm supposed to go for the second shot in August, but they were saying on the news that we may be able to get the second shot earlier because there's more vaccine coming in than initially expected. So that'll be nice. And then there was a radio call-in show yesterday afternoon so people could discuss how their feelings on having a vaccine passport. I don't think it's the worst idea in the world, mainly because, well, in some instances, traveling requires vaccination, some vaccinations anyway. Like if you were going to, I don't know, you might need a vaccine for yellow fever if you were, well, you know, they recommend certain vaccines if you're traveling to the south. I mean, they're not completely necessary, but it could prevent you from getting a gastrointestinal bug if you're going to the sunny south. I mean, there's lots of instances where we must have vaccines. Like, you know, kids have to be vaccinated in order to attend school. I don't think it would be a permanent thing. I think it's just, you know, as we get through this whole pandemic. And it would just be one of those restrictions. So, okay, you can go to the theater, but you have to show evidence that you've been vaccinated. So that would be a way of opening up some businesses and, you know, have an economic impact for sure. Who knows what's going to happen though. So they had some bioethicist on to discuss it. He didn't seem very happy about it. But for sure, for travel and tourism, it would have a great economic impact for people. This seems a little uneven. There we go. Okay. So we need paper dolls on this side. And this is from 1905 magazine, Women's Home Companion. So I will cut these out when I'm sewing, so you don't have to watch me do fussy cutting. The next one, we're doing a fabric flip. So I'm going to use lace. So I've got some grungy tea dyed. I want to make sure I get the grunge on there. Oh, I didn't cut that very squarely, did I? That's better. I want something else. What about that? I'm going to put you on pause for a second. I can hear I'll be making noise. Yeah. Put that there. I'm doing this on the wrong side. I'm sure it doesn't matter, but okay. I think I'm going to sew that first, and then I'll glue this on afterwards so that I don't have stitching through that. And grab another page here. I like how this is all raggedy at the top. Whoops. had it upside down. Here, that's better. A happy cardinal out there. I think I'll use some Fabri-Tac. This is a little heavier, so I mean, even just for the purposes of tacking. Maybe I want one more thing. No. That's interesting, but no. Yes. This has got some little tears in it. I think that's going to be great. Okay. So that needs to be sewn. Looking for the lid. Okay, now I'm looking at this and thinking, I think I like it better that way. Okay, now we have to make the little taggy, pockety thing. So I'm going to grab some ads here, and we'll use that for the taggy part. I'll use that one. And this one. No. That one. Okay, we need to have these a little more secure. And it's too bad. I like that picture. Okay, now this is a little white, so I want to I'm gonna have to pause for a minute while I look for my ink brush. All right, so I'm just gonna go over the whole thing lightly. That's better. Oh, crud. I always do that. Well, I'm gonna have to live with it. Okay. Now, see, this is newer paper. I can use a knife, no problem. But the old paper, you can't do that. some ink going here. There we go. All right, now for pockets. Oh, I remember what I was going to do. Okay, well, let me just get these tacked down first. There's one. Okay, I have some very old instructions, and what I did to reinforce it was to glue on a layer of pattern paper. These are from 1943, so they're not as old as I'm going for, but I think it's gonna work. So I want to cut 2 squares. Looks like this is just shy of 7. That's 6 7/8. Yeah, just needed a whisker. Nope. Okay. Now I'm going to get out my envelope punch board. I'm going to make some little envelopes out of this. Perfect. Okay. Now, my intention is that I will sew a piece of vellum here. This will slide onto the tag. This will all be folded up, but not, well, it could be glued, but I don't think I'm going to glue it. Well, maybe I will. But the first part has to be the vellum. So I think I'll go for a 3.5 inch square. I know we're getting long on time here, so let me just pause while I do that and we'll come back and show you the final. Okay, so I've got 2 here. So I've just sewed on a piece of coffee dyed tracing paper, I think. And one of them is longer and narrower than the other because the tag that I used in the one is longer and narrower. I will tie off all of these threads and ink this up. So this one is meant to go there. And that one's meant to go there. So I can decorate this by adding some little images. There's a little collage. I will ink it up. I will round the corners and decide whether I want to glue these down or not. Like it could open up for a secret journaling spot. Decisions, decisions, decisions. All right. Now I have to sew all of this stuff, so hold tight and we'll be back to show you the final product. Okay, everything's done now. So this one with the lace, I've stitched it on, but just had a little detail to this rather plain looking page. I just added a few cross stitches. Same with this one. This one. So I stitched down the ruffle and fussy cut out that paper doll, glued that on there. And then these two that have the fabric flips on the outside. Here's what I did. So I left it open, and that way it can be made into a long envelope, and the flap closes that way, or it can be made into a traditionally configured envelope that way, or it can be just left wide open for some extra journaling space. So the future owner may choose. And I'm not sure if you recognize that or not, that actually, although these both started out as 6 7/8 inches, I did the folds differently so that one was longer and thinner and one was a little short and plumper. And same thing, I just left this wide open for anyone to make a decision how they want to use that envelope. I inked everything up on the exterior. And I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but this was tea-dyed tracing paper that I used plastic lace on top out in the sunshine to create a little bit of a design on there. And she just slides right there. Got a couple of nice comments about this sort of configuration of the pocket on top of the tag. This wasn't my idea. This is something that I saw on Luna Razu's channel. And I thought it was pretty clever myself. So I am happy to copy and steal brilliance like that. Again, I stitched these two laces to the paper, and then I glued this one on top because I thought it looked nicer without having stitches through those flowers. So those pages are done and dusted. So come back tomorrow and I will show you what's next up for my grungy sewing themed journal. Take care.